I have a slight horror story in Shinjuku chat. I, low-key, was stalked by a person in Shinjuku station. And that, I don't think they knew who I was. But this was during the warmer days. So this was how the climate is when I went to Japan. Today, it's gonna be 18 degrees. Tomorrow, it's gonna be 2 degrees. The next day, 4 degrees. The next day, 16 degrees. The next day, 18 degrees. The next day, 18 degrees. The next day, 1 degree. The next day, snowing. The next day, snowing. The next day... It's like hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, right? So you don't know what to wear. But basically, on this day, when I went shopping, I wanted to wear something cute. You know, I want to dress up, right? I put on some makeup. I did my hair. I had a bow and everything. And I had my cute clothes. It was like an off-shoulder top and some like a mini skirt and some leggings and some boots. I was trying to look cute, you know? And I was meeting a friend there to go shopping. So afterwards, we were done at like around 9:30 p.m. We went there at like early in the morning, shopped for like fucking 10 hours, right? We didn't even buy anything much. We just like to look around, talk, eat, look around, talk, eat. So it was just nice to hang out with some people. And then they were like, bye, I'm gonna go to the station now to get back. I went to the Shinjuku station. And obviously, I was kind of lost because Shinjuku station chat is big. Like, I will tell you, that shit's a maze and a half. Going from one end to the other end is going from like Shinjuku to like somewhere else, okay? It's like a different area. So that place is big. There's a lot of like alleyways that leads to alleyways that leads to escalators and stairs, and it's so fucking confusing. Yeah, it's an underground city. Exactly. It was so fucking scary. So then I was trying to find where my train was and I got lost because I basically tapped in and I don't know where I was, and I was like, oh my god, everything is everywhere and none of this train is the train I'm supposed to take. So I'm just like walking around, and then I noticed there's this guy who was kind of just like following me. Like, I didn't notice it at first, but I noticed it after he started walking like right behind me. Like, when I mean right behind me, I mean like if he reaches his hand out, he would touch my shoulder. Like it's close. Like, it's not too close that like he would touch me, but you don't have to like stretch your hand out, you know? Like, you can just like reach out a little bit and he would touch me. So it's like kind of right there. And I was like, okay, maybe he's also lost. Like I'm not... Like, it's not crowded. This was like after the like rush hour, so it was not crowded. There's still people because it's Shinjuku, but not too much. So I also thought like maybe he's also trying to go somewhere, right? So then at one point I was like, oh, I've been going straight and this guy has been like really close. So let me just like stop at like one of the pillars and like check like the map a little bit. But I made sure because my phone has a strap. I was also scared that he's gonna like rob me. So I grabbed my phone with like my strap and I looked at the map, and then he stopped. Like, he wasn't on the same pillar, but he stopped like on the next pillar, which is like right next to me. And I was like, okay, maybe he's also lost. So I was like, okay, let me just go the other way. Let me backtrack, right? So I backtracked, and then he kept following me. Like, he didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. He just keeps following me. Like, no matter where I go, like I would go back and then I turn left. He's always there. Sometimes he's a bit further. Sometimes he's really fucking close. And then I would like tap in, tap out. Like, I would go to different places. And he's there. Like, I think I was in the station for genuinely 20 minutes. Because I also didn't know where to go, right? So I was there for like 15 to 20 minutes. And he is still there. So I was like, So I messaged my friend. I was like, hey, dude. Because she's a girl, right? So I was like, hey, I like, not to freak you out, but a guy's low-key following me. And she's like, okay, I wanted to message her that. But we can talk, like me and my friend, we talk in 2 different applications. There's Discord and there's like another, like there's WhatsApp, basically, right? So I was about to Discord message her being like, yo, not trying to freak you out, but there's a guy following me. I think. Like, I don't want to be like cocky or anything, but I was like, I think, you know? And then when I wanted to message her that, I noticed that she messaged me on WhatsApp saying like, by the way, girl, be careful. There are a lot of stalkers in Shinjuku. So like right before I was about to send that message, she warned me like 10 minutes before, where it's like, by the way, be careful. There's a lot of stalkers there. So I was like, oh, well, now it's not really helping me, is it? Because I'm like, I already had a speculation. And now I fear that it may be true. But then, chat, the moment I did that, thankfully I found the train. And when I tapped in and I started like waiting for the train, he's gone. Like, I didn't turn around because I was scared. Like, I don't want to make eye contact, right? Like, what I think is like the last thing you want to do with someone that might be stalking you is to acknowledge that they exist. So I
Thanks
never
for
turned
guns for
around.
Rhino for
But
the
I
sub.
know from their pants, because I look down and I see their shoes and their pants, and they're always there. Like, it's the same guy, because it's the same pants and the same shoes. But at one point, I looked down, nothing was there. I turned around, like, trying to be low-key, and he was gone. So that was like, phew, thank God. Am I right, guys? And then, did you file the report? I didn't, because I didn't know where it was. I was barely finding the train that I needed to go. I would not know where the, like, station report guy is. So I was like, oh, shit. Did he wear denim? I knew it, the denim pant user. Thankfully, nothing bad happened. But chat, you know what's nuts? Another man followed me yet again. This time, it was in Shimokitazawa, because I went to Shimokitazawa. And
Thanks, Durandalmax.
so that was kind of cool. I went there with Kuro, right? Like, we wanted to go shopping, but the plan was, it's like, we're gonna go there and then we can split, like, we can go different ways, because it's Shimokitazawa. You know, like, it's not that scary. So I was like, it's fine, we can split up, and then, like, later, before, like, if you want to get food, we can just meet up there, because he wanted to go there anyway. So I was like, sick, let me tag along. So I was, like, walking in a straight line, kind of, because if you don't know what Shimokitazawa is, it's kind of well known for, like, the thrift place. It's not, by the way.
Okay,
if you want to go thrifting,
petition to get you a
it's...
bodyguard at this point. Gun run
I don't
PLS.
know what I did. I think it's the mini skirt. I don't know, because I like mini skirts, but I don't know what I did. I'm telling you, chat. Disclaimer, if you want to go thrift shopping in Japan, Shimokitazawa is well known for thrifting, but it's not. A lot of them are quite expensive. It's like thrift, quote unquote, but it's expensive. The ones that I found, I got really good thrift loot in Ueno, actually, so I recommend that. But I went to Shimokitazawa anyway to look for vintage stuff. And it's basically a whole area, and you can just walk around. There's stores everywhere. So I didn't check the map. I just kind of like walked around with the purpose of like checking out anything I see. And then before I need to go back, I'll check the map if I need to go back, right? So I was walking down this like long road, and it went to a smaller road, and it went to like small little hallways, like little paths and stuff. And I'll show you later, but I found a store that sold like vintage items. Before I entered the store, in front of it was like, there are a lot, like there are not too many, there are like 3 stores, but the one in front of the small vintage store was like a bigger one. There was a guy that was standing next to a pole, and he was like swaying. Like he's looking down, and he's like swaying front and back, you know what I mean? Like he had his headphones on, and he's like swaying like front and back. Not dancing, like swaying. So I looked at him because I was like, is he okay? This was also at like 5 p.m. So I was like, is he drunk? Is he high? At 5 p.m.? I don't know. But I looked at him, and then we made eye contact. And I was like, ooh, awkward. You know, maybe he's just listening to music, right? And then I went to the vintage store, and then I found myself a really, really cool vintage spoon, chat. It was really cool, actually. So I got a really cool spoon that I will be showing you. It's made of silver, and it is rusted, but I don't know where the spoon came from. And I bought it. Yup, exactly. Ooh, spoon. It was a really good spoon. And then when I exited the store, he was standing right next to the store, and I kept walking, and he kept following me. He kept following me, and then I was like, this is not like main road. This is like small streets that leads to some like neighborhood kind of streets, and it's empty. Like there's not a lot of people. And I kept walking, and he was right behind me, and I was scared. So I kept like turning. Like I'm like, oh, there's a left. Let me take the left, right? Like you can either go straight, right, or left. Let me take left. And then he would take left. And then I would take right. He would take right. I don't even know where I'm going. But like he's right behind me. And I was like scared. And at one point, I noticed I went on a square. So it's like I turned right, and then I turned right again, and I turned right, and then I'm back to where I was, you know? And he was right there. So at that point, chat, it's safe to say he was following me. Like, he's not going home, okay? Because I thought it's like, we are in like some alleyway areas, you know? Like, probably bro is just trying to find his way back home. I took rights, and he was still behind me. So like, we are spinning in a goddamn circle, and you are still following me. So I was like, uh-oh, I'm gonna poop myself. And I didn't want to take out my phone that time, because with the station, the difference is in a station, you're kind of like indoors. So I'm not that scared, but this is outdoors. So I'm very fucking scared. And there is like nobody. There is no police, no security. There is no big store buildings. I don't know if it's a store or it's a house most of the time, right? So I don't know. If I need something, I don't know where to go. So I was walking. And out of nowhere, there was a woman that went out with her baby. And throughout this time, like, there was a woman that came out. She had a baby stroll. So there I was. I decided to follow this woman.
Netra got scammed for $50.
But then, yeah, there was this lady with a baby stroller, and I decided to follow her. And thank God I did, because the moment I followed her, like, I was standing right next to her, right? I took out my phone, and I messaged Kuro. I was like, Kuro, I'm not trying to freak you out, and I know you're shopping and stuff, but I think a man is following me. And Kuro's like, what the fuck? So then I had like live location on. I sent him like my location. I was like, I'm gonna try to walk to the station, okay? And he's like, just keep walking, I'll be there. So then I continued walking with this lady. And like, according to the map, I was not that far from the station. Like, it was a different station, but there was a station. So I was like continuing walking. And in the station thing, there's like a cafe, there were bakeries. And I stood inside the cafe bakery. And I was just like pretending to look around. I'm like looking outside. The guy was not there, but I'm kind of scared. You know what I mean? Like, I know he followed me to the station, but I don't know if he's like still outside of the store. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wait. Like, I'm just gonna wait for him inside the store area, and I'm not gonna go anywhere else. We're like standing there, and then I got a message. Kuro kept messaging me. He's like, I'm on the way. Are you okay? I'm on. Like, he keeps like messaging me, and I keep having to respond because like I feel like if I didn't respond, he'd think I'm dead. So I was like, yeah, I'm in a bakery right now. I'm looking at bread. I got a spoon. I kept saying like, I got a spoon, and he's like, good for you. I'm close. And I'm like, okay, I got this cool spoon. Like, I'm stimming. I'm like spooked, and I'm stimming. So I'm like, oh, do you want to know the spoon I got? And Kuro was just like, which area of the station? Where are you? And I'm like, I'm in the bakery. Would you like to know more about my spoon? Like, I'm dissociating at that point. And then Kuro came, and then he was like, where are you? And I saw him outside of the window, so I ran out, right? And I was too scared to like turn around or anything. Like, I booted, like I ran out of the bakery, and I was like, Kuro, help me. I was like, hello there. And the first thing he did, way to make it not obvious, by the way, he stood up. Like, he was standing really like tall, and I know some of you guys have seen how Kuro looks like. All I can say is like, when Kuro looks serious, he looks kind of scary, you know? Like, he has like an intimidating glare. So he was standing there with an intimidating glare, and he's like scanning the area, and he's like, who was it? Where is it? Which one followed you? Which one? And I was like, okay, well, listen. Okay, probably. But okay, wait to let them know. But I was like looking around, and I guess he wasn't there anymore. So that was thankful. But then I ended up following him the whole day. You know what? Nothing really. Well, sometimes weird shit does happen. But to be fair, I don't want to say it's like, oh, it's because, God, people, it's not how you dress. Well, yeah, but I feel like sometimes... maybe I get weird people when I dress a specific way. It's always a specific way. Like, when I'm wearing a sweater and like pants, it doesn't usually happen. But it's always when I dress a very specific way, some weird shit happens.